Good morning, everyone. I'm James Litley from the Okanagan Basin Water Board, and I'm the AquaHacking Project Manager. I'd like to start by asking Dr. Anna Warwick-Sears, the Executive Director for the Okanagan Basin Water Board, to come up and give the land acknowledgement and make her opening comments.
Thank you, James. It's great to see everybody out here and also everybody in Facebook Live land. I'd like to welcome you. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Silks Okanagan peoples, and thank you very much for having us here. First thing I'd like to do is to ask Richard Armstrong, the knowledge keeper from the Okanagan Nation, to come and offer us a prayer.
You forgot to put an apple box up here for me to stand on. Thanks, Anna. Hey, what a good day to be here, huh? My name is Richard Armstrong, and I'm a member of the Syilx Okanagan Nation. The truth that she just said, that we are on the unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan Nation. And it's something that my elders have always told me, that at gatherings like this, it's important that we do a prayer and honoring for all of people that are here, that have left the comfort and safety of their house to be here. And the prayer that I do is in my language. I speak my language better than I do the English language. And it just asks the Creator to thank you for being here and protect you till you get wherever you're going. And that's the kind of words that I do. Walang chuten yata chait wist yata chai kuliut. Matla panax kaspachen tisil, quaqal misil hitels boostil. Jaktel stim me hustusisil datskil sincha chinums. Iklen chastens, itemhula, I shiulk, I skelu. Yatiko shiilich, itemich. Atsken ken nosusats tuchtila hit temhula. Kulen chuten it lees poos. Tau nich is kolquelt is kelpach is chuikules nichel. Jakuya tachai to wist was dosilch that's kelsen hat sinumsil. Iklen hastens I shiulk. Itemhula is skelu. It lachaptet. Usay luti ikul. Jack mistakes khair. He limlumed. He went. Thank you. Which way is the best way out of here? This way, I get. Yeah, my coffee's over here, so the best way. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, my task is to do some opening remarks. I forgot to take away the fruit box that I put here. As I said, I want to really welcome and thank everyone for coming today. This is very exciting. It's the first step in launching our 2020 AquaHacking in BC whole project and initiative. It's really terrific. It's wonderful to have Facebook Live here. I have to say, this is the first time I've been on Facebook Live, and so it's a little bit disconcerting, but I'll just pretend that I don't mind. And it's wonderful to have a big audience like this. First thing I want to say is I want to thank our funders and sponsors. The AquaHacking initiative was established by the De Gaspé-Beaubien Foundation, who are from Montreal. It is powered by the RBC Foundation. The founding partner for the initiative is IBM, and we have the proud support of the Real Estate Foundation of BC. We're also supported by a generous contribution by Tech Resources, who's our BC regional partner. And we're also in partnership with MyTax, and you'll hear more about MyTax in a little bit. I also want to thank our many academic partners. UBC is fantastic and has been so incredible working on us with this and making this beautiful event space available to us. Also, Okanagan Waterwise, which is an outreach initiative of Okanagan Basin Water Board, is working on a lot of the public outreach. We have support from Hackworks, which is an online platform that's helping work with the teams who are putting together their projects. And we are also supported by Waterlution, which is a wonderful organization that I urge you all to find more about. It's an organization that works with young people to help them further different water sustainability projects. So Waterlution is going to be leading our expedition for the 5 top teams. Finally, I would like to acknowledge and thank the members of our advisory committee, many of whom are here. We have Tessa Terbasket from the Okanagan Nation Alliance, Dave Teasdale from Okanagan College, Andrew Greer from Purple Accelerator, David Saltman from the Okanagan Sustainable Leadership Council, Rehan Sadiq from UBC Okanagan, Carrie-Ann Arup from the Aqua Forum, Corey Griffiths from the Central Okanagan Economic Development Commission, Jeremy Clothes from Urban Systems, Don Dobson from Dobson Engineering, Rod McLean from the City of Kelowna, and Tariq Dasuki from the BC Ministry of Environment and Climate Change Strategies. So once again, thanks to all of our advisory committee members. Now James is going to come back on stage and introduce the other speakers. I'll be back after a bit.
Thank you, Anna. I'll just stand on my tiptoes to get up to Anna's height. Next, I'd like to ask Aidan Matrick, a member of the Degaspe-Beaubien family, to come up to the stage and say a few words on behalf of the Degaspe-Beaubien Foundation.
Appreciate everyone being here today. To build on what Anna shared, just want to say thank you to people that have helped make this kickoff possible. A big thank you to the Okanagan Basin Water Board for putting their hand up enthusiastically and being our first regional partner as we expand across the country. Thank you to UBC Okanagan for hosting us today, and thank you to the Okanagan Nation Alliance for receiving us into your territory. I'd like to share a little bit more about AquaHacking, what it is, and how it got started. My family first got involved with water over 10 years ago, and we saw the opportunity to combine new technologies with expertise in the water space to create disruptive solutions. And that's what the challenge is in a nutshell. It's bringing together young professionals and students in the STEM fields, experts in the water space, and community leaders to, over the course of an elongated hackathon, take ideas and turn them into companies. So far, we've had 18 companies come through the process, and it's really amazing to see some of the diverse and novel solutions that they've come up with. Some, like Water Rangers, are using hardware. We'll hear a little bit from Kat, the founder, later today, but they provide their users with a toolkit that allows them to ascertain water data in their rivers and lakes. Others, like CanForecast, are using software. CanForecast is using artificial intelligence to monitor and predict water quality on public beaches, as well as with their new product or algorithm, the ability to detect leakages in public infrastructure. And it's through entrepreneurs like members of these teams and others that have participated in the process that have allowed AquaHacking to be successful through their grit and determination. Really excited to see this come to BC. As someone who is from BC and is back home and works in the tech sector, I'm really excited to see what this challenge can do when combined with the talent that we have in this province in addressing some of the things that we're working on in relation to fresh water. We're looking forward to working with everyone in creating an optimal environment for these entrepreneurs to come together, form teams, thrive, and do their best work in addressing the challenges that are facing the Okanagan Basin. Thank you, and I'll pass it back to James.
I was hoping someone would start the applause. You're such a tough crowd so far this morning. Thank you, Aidan. That was great. Now I'd like to welcome up Carrie-Ann Arup. Carrie-Ann works in the Partnership and Program Development for AquaForum, and she's going to give us an overview of what the AquaHacking Challenge is. Carrie-Ann.
Good morning, everybody. Just to follow on all the words of how excited we are to see the AquaHacking Challenge come to BC. It really is wonderful. I too am from BC. I've been working with AquaHacking for 3 years. And when we found out this was happening, Aidan and I connected, and we're super excited that we can be here and kick off this event. So I want to tell you a little bit about what the challenge actually is, get into a little bit of the detail. Oops. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Aidan mentioned that we've expanded the idea of, it was originated from a hackathon, right? 48-hour burst of time where everybody gets together and has a lot of fun creating and ideating. And we've adapted that model for the AquaHacking Challenge to be over 8 months. And we did that because we really want to see impact at the end of 8 months. And what does impact mean in this context? It means solutions that are viable, that are practicable, and that can be implemented to have a tangible impact on fresh water. We're mission-driven with this challenge. So there's 4 components to the AquaHacking Challenge, and I just want to review them for you, that really are part of our expanded 8-month model. So step 1 is connecting with end users. What does that mean? It means defining the problem. Connecting with leaders in the water sector who are on the ground at the forefront of tackling freshwater issues. And we've been doing that through the advisory committee and through the Okanagan Basin Water Board, is reaching out to water leaders to define what are the key issues that you want to have solved through a tech challenge. And that's what we're going to be releasing today. You're going to hear what the 5 issues are. Next is tapping into talent. All the young Canadians who are in the universities across the country who care deeply about our environment, who care about water, and are studying computer science, engineering, technology, business, communications, you name it. Get those skills, create diverse teams who together are going to disrupt the way we're working on water and come up with solutions that are going to make a difference on the timeline that is so urgent, as we know. When the teams come together and they start to work, we support those teams. We've got the online platform that helps them also communicate and connect if they're not necessarily all at the same university. But we also support them with capacity building workshops and webinars. They're available on our platform. It includes design thinking, communications, entrepreneurship, and with our partner IBM, access to their Watson artificial intelligence technology. And those are great opportunities for students to sort of scale up and really capacity build for the skills that they need to prepare their solution. And at the end of that, the results are impactful. I'm going to talk about the process and the milestones, but at the end of the AquaHacking Challenge, the solutions that come out are incubated. These have proven themselves technologically, they've built their business case, and they are secured incubation spots for further development. It's a very structured process over the 8 months. It's a nice, colorful slide that sort of shows you the whole thing. I'm going to go through it step by step. So it's really very clear for everybody, particularly those on Facebook Live, if students are looking to get the information and learn about this. So let's see if my clickers work here. So first, let's get the first 2 out here. We've announced, we said, hey BC, AquaHacking Challenge is coming. Get ready. And that's when we found Okanagan Basin Water Board to be the regional partner to host us here. On campus, the next time, once we knew that we were actually coming, the important thing was to let students and university departments know that there's an opportunity for students to engage, to apply everything they're learning in their classroom in a real-life setting on a real-life problem. And we've been doing that actually over the last months, and we're going to be formalizing that now. And we've already started. It's going to go into November with info sessions. So we've been on campus here in the Okanagan. I know Carolina has been in several events, and we're going to continue in Vancouver and on the island in Victoria with info sessions. Then there's the kickoff. Here we are. And today is the big day where we announce the issues that have been defined by the water leaders. And then the teams start to form. And as they do, they are in phase 1 of the challenge. And this is when they will get access to a number of webinars on our platform. Each of the water issue leaders has done a webinar, and you'll see little trailers today just to get you sort of pique your interest. But lengthier webinars to really share with you what the issue is. And then those water issue leaders are available to work with the teams, to answer questions, to ensure you really understand the context of the issue. And that's really valuable support and sort of learning from experts in the sector. Then comes a first milestone where teams are judged. Our semi-final event is sort of held in a science fair type setup where teams come together, show their prototypes, demo what their solutions are. A panel of about 15 judges will evaluate them. And it's a really exciting science fair setup. If any of you remember science fairs from when you were in high school, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of passion. People are meeting and sharing, and it's a great event. And that'll be taking place here in Kelowna in March, date to be finalized, but it gives you lots of time from now to March to get your ideas developed. At the semi-final, 5 teams are selected to proceed through to phase 2. And part of phase 2, as Anna was mentioning, is the expedition. So 5 teams will continue. Additional mentoring and support is available. The expedition is a really important piece. And it's really to ground it and make it real. Sometimes students haven't been on the water. Sometimes students haven't had that opportunity for an environmental experiential learning opportunity. It's a weekend event. It's a weekend expedition. Stakeholder engagement, a lot of capacity building, leadership development, World Cafe style facilitated sessions. It can be a very transformational experience for students who haven't had that opportunity, where the teams also recognize they're all motivated by having an impact on water. So even though they're competing with one another, they also are collaborating and helping one another. And it's really amazing to see. And you see it in their eyes and in their expression and when they talk about it, how they are personally impacted by this. And it's an important piece of this challenge. The mentoring as well continues. Now it's more focused on IP and business support as they hone their marketing plans and their business development plans. And then it all comes together in the final, which will be in June here in Kelowna. And it's a Dragon's Den type setup. Lights, camera, action, stage will happen off campus. A lot of preparation. Teams get support for their pitch. They're given 7 minutes, and it's as though they were funding to an investor. So it's serious stuff. And indeed, they are pitching for an investor because there's a nice bit of prize money at the end, and I think that's going to get presented a little bit later on. And then, as I said, incubation support. So once we know who the 5 teams are, where they're located, we work to secure incubation spots for them. So it's not just the fun of ideating and learning, it's actually developing, and it's knowing at the end there is the support to get to market and to implement your idea so that there can be a measurable impact on fresh water. So all this information is available on our website, and we're happy to receive more questions too if you need more clarification, but you should find everything that you need on the website as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie Ann. I'd like to now welcome Lauren Andrews, the branch director for RBC here at UBC Okanagan. And again, RBC Foundation is one of the original founding partners for AquaHacking across Canada. Lauren.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Wow, all the speakers are so great. I really loved the prayer that you shared. Thank you so much. I've never heard anything like that beautiful before. So thank you so much. We're so excited and happy to be a sponsor and supporter of this amazing event. We believe that creating a positive social impact is integral to how we do our business. There's so many opportunities with the environment, and we believe in tackling big issues like climate change, single-use plastic, and our waterways as well. We believe in creating a sustainable future and helping support youth. We have our $500 million commitment, which is future launch over 10 years, which helps youth reach their full potential. So we're here to support youth as well as the environment. We just wrapped up our Blue Water project, which was our $500 million commitment over 10 years to help water in our community. We are so excited to see the innovation and creativity that you all will bring forth here. We think that the youth have such a great potential to shape our country and change our future, and we can't wait to see what you guys do. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lauren. I'd like to now welcome Leanne Sexsmith, the Director of Grants and Special Projects for the Real Estate Foundation of BC. And the Real Estate Foundation of BC has been instrumental in supporting bringing the challenge to BC and the Okanagan. Leanne.
Thanks, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here today and to share with you why AquaHacking matters to us. The Real Estate Foundation of BC is a philanthropic organization. We're a grant-making organization that funds projects, connects people, and shares knowledge to strengthen communities, protect our shared land and waters, and advance sustainable land use and real estate practices across BC. In the last 5 years, we've granted more than $4 million specifically to support freshwater research, education, and policy analysis across the province. I first heard about AquaHacking at a gathering of BC water funders who regularly come together to share and learn about funding gaps and opportunities. And Carrie-Ann Arup, who we just heard from, was there and shared her story about AquaHacking with us. And the first thing I thought was, wow, that is so cool. In addition to having a very hip name and savvy social media presence, AquaHacking embraces every approach we look for when we're seeking strategic funding opportunities. It's tackling critical, real-life community issues and needs with on-the-ground solutions that can be implemented at scale. It's bringing together diverse people, sectors, ages, minds, to find the most promising solutions through collaboration and partnerships. And it is creating a lasting legacy of networks, ambassadors, mentors, and end users who are contributing to a growing community of practice around freshwater health. And we know freshwater health is critical in BC. We think of water as plentiful, yet 2.9 million BCers live in areas where water shortages are likely to be a serious problem in the coming years. In a recent poll of BC residents, 90% viewed water as BC's most precious resource, and more than half were concerned about a current or imminent water crisis in their community. 87% believe the province will face a serious problem if nothing is done to improve water management. The pressures that we see in our work and hear about in communities are very real. They come from pollution, overuse, habitat damage, and climate change impacts. The BC AquaHacking themes of invasive species, storm and wastewater, flooding, and pollution directly relate to those pressures. They represent complex challenges. Our potential to address them and support impactful change in positive ways forward is made possible through initiatives like the AquaHacking Challenge. It is a fantastic model for testing ideas and driving real innovation. By making challenges specific and tangible, we make them solvable. By bringing hackers and scientists together, we make solutions practical. It is through these kinds of partnerships with diverse people and organizations working across BC and beyond that we are collectively advancing one of the most essential aspirations of our time: a healthy environment that supports thriving, resilient, livable communities now and in the future. That is our vision. And as a grant funder of AquaHacking, we are very proud to help bring this unique, creative, and scalable approach to BC. On behalf of our Board of Governors and staff team, I'd like to thank everyone here today for contributing and making this happen. And I can't wait to see the results. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Now it's time for the big reveal. So I'd like to ask Dr. Sears to come back to the stage to officially announce the AquaHacking Challenge 2020 BC water issues. And will be followed immediately by the pitch videos.
Thank you, James. I've been working on Okanagan water for 13 years and a couple of years before that in California. And when we're asked to think about water issues, we first kind of brainstormed it with the advisory committee and with our partners in the community, and worked out a long list and then a short list. And going through them, I was trying to think about, well, how would a business in this area relate to somewhere else in the world? And it was really remarkable about how the issues that are common to the Okanagan are common throughout Canada and are common really internationally. I think that any of these water issues, solutions to these water issues, can be scaled and applied across the world. What we've tried to do, and we've worked with our water issue leaders to do, is to define the problems broadly, to provide enough information so that people get a sense of what the real challenges are, but then broad enough so that people can take any number of different approaches to addressing them. We're really trying to not prescribe what the solutions might be. We want the aqua hackers to tell us what the solutions would be. These are big problems that probably each one of them has 100 or 500 or 1,000 different solutions to it. But we need what is the intelligence coming from you, from the aqua hackers? What does it suggest that we can do right now with the tools that we have and the resources that we have, and be really future thinking? So I'm very excited to use this opportunity to reveal the AquaHacking 2020 BC water issues, and I think we're going to do that through the videos.
Hello, AquaHackers. I'm Marta Green.
My name is Heather Larratt. Thank you for joining us on this important issue of contaminants in stormwater. Stormwater is not a new problem. It suffers from the usual maladies: hydrocarbons, many quite toxic, metal contamination, and pathogen indicating E. coli, often at outrageously high concentrations. Like so many places in the world, stormwater is delivered untreated directly into Okanagan streams and lakes. Stormwater is diluted by stream flow and may meet all aquatic guidelines, but stormwater contaminants accumulate to exceed concentrations in lake sediments. Lake sediments then act as a storehouse. So how do you get summer-long weekend turbidity spikes at intakes, a phenomenon that can't be explained by any natural processes? Heavy boating, large boats, are suspected of causing these long weekend turbidity spikes. We used aerial and underwater drones to see and verify those impacts and the depths at which they occur. Even though we ran this trial as far away as possible from the South Kalmak intake, they still experienced a turbidity spike about 24 hours later.
Stormwater also reaches our groundwater and causes pollution in our water supply wells. 25% of BC's population relies on groundwater for drinking, and fish, believe it or not, rely on the cool and clear groundwater when it discharges to streams as phase flow in late summer months. Unlike summer surface water intakes that are sometimes in protected watersheds away from human influence, aquifers tend to be in valley bottoms right under our feet. Any rain and snow that falls on our urban landscape and picks up contaminants can make its way into our aquifers via dry wells or slotted pipe manholes under catch basins. Aquifers do a good job of filtering out many insoluble contaminants like pathogens and the turbidity in stormwater, but soluble contaminants included salts, nitrates, and some hydrocarbons can move a long way. For groundwater, existing treatments are shown here. On the top right, you've got perforated manholes, or also called dry wells or soakaway pits, that don't offer much treatment besides maybe a bit of settling at the bottom. On the bottom right and top left are infiltration trenches, which are large areas underground filled with gravel or drain rock, and a series of perforated pipe to spread the water out. On the bottom left is a bioswale using a combination of surface features including plants that remove a bit of pollution and gravel soakaway pits. There are pre-treatment options, such as oil water separators, if you're really lucky. The problem with these is they're really expensive. The units, like one shown here, they start at $4,000 each. So for cities that have hundreds of these, or individual farms or commercial and industrial property owners, this price is out of reach. We need your help. Can you think of a more cost-effective solution?
Can we create an Okanagan toolkit to manage stormwater? Can we use rain beneficially, treat it locally, and as a last resort, treat it at outfalls? And can we do all of this safely? We need your help.
Welcome to beautiful British Columbia. Welcome to the Okanagan. Life in the Okanagan is defined by our water: swimmable, drinkable, fishable. Our water supports our economy. Through agriculture, tourism, forestry, water built this area. Our hot sandy beaches, a lifestyle for residents and a destination for visitors. And a beautiful place to live and grow. Invasive zebra and quagga mussels are spreading across North America, covering beaches, lake bottoms, and changing the ecosystem, damaging property and changing recreation, infecting our water systems. In just 6 months, invasive mussels can turn a functioning system into a management nightmare. Problem is complex, with watercraft traveling across North America, potentially carrying these invaders from one water body to another. Is this the future of the Okanagan? I challenge you to come up with a technological solution to prevent the spread of aquatic invasive mussels, to mitigate the damage they do to our infrastructure, or to control their population in infested areas. I'm James Litley from the Okanagan Basin Water Board, and I'll be here to help you with your solutions to protect what is important to me and to all of us.
I'm Robin Burke, Engineering Advisor for Flood Modeling with Natural Resources Canada.
I'm Steve Lipke with the Fraser Basin Council.
And I'm Heather McGrath, a geospatial scientist with Natural Resources Canada.
Flooding is Canada's most common occurring natural hazard. Each year in Canada, on average, there is over $1 billion in flood damages and costs. Some of this borne by insurance companies, a lot of it borne by different levels of government, and the rest of it borne by homeowners across Canada. We also know that up to 94% of homeowners in Canada don't have a sense for their individual or home level flood risk. And we think that this is a significant issue in terms of being able to mitigate flood risk, increase community resiliency, and decrease community and homeowner vulnerability to flooding. So one of the main issues that we have is trying to figure out how to communicate flood risk in an effective way. And there are a number of issues with the way that it's currently being communicated. And a good example of that is the 1 in a 100-year flood. We've seen in the Ottawa area that we had floods approaching or exceeding the 1 in a 100-year flood in 2017 and 2019. And this is quite confusing for people who live in flood zones or even outside of flood zones. So what we want to do with this challenge is figure out a way to better communicate flood risk to homeowners, to communities, to governments, anybody who may have to understand flood risk to make decisions for their employment or for their home and their families as well. So we're excited that you're all going to join us here on this challenge. We've presented a slideshow that we can sort of use to talk you through what we're trying to do. We think that if we can really tackle the communication piece, this can have a really significant impact on some of the easier pieces to tackle in terms of flood risk and reducing flood risk. So we know that there are some major challenges, including data acquisition, challenges in terms of climate change and uncertainty in modeling. But if we can figure out a way to better communicate flood risk, then I think we can probably engage people a lot better and maybe be making better decisions about how to reduce our flood risk in the future.
Hey hackers, it's Jen here from the Regional District of North Okanagan.
And Ed from the City of Kelowna.
And we spend our days trying to help our communities find ways to be more efficient with their water use. We use a lot of water on our yards in the Okanagan. 1/4 of the water used every year goes to lawns. How do we get people to change their habits?
You're right. Without crisis, change rarely happens. So we need people to be aware of how important water use is, accept that it's worth personal action, and putting it into place. Our valley has limited water supply, and how we use it impacts everything from stream flows to water supply to fish habitats, just to name a few. We've tried a number of positive reinforcements and negative consequences to try and bring that change, but we need to do more. Climate change demands that we do more.
Hackers, you might have the next big idea to help us with this challenge. Bring your solutions to the AquaHacking BC 2020 Challenge.
My name is Tessa Trebasket, and my name is Sarah Alexis, and we are SEAL Youth Water Leaders. We've been working together in the natural resources sector for over 4 years in our nation.
One of our elders always reminds us that they used to drink the water directly from Okanagan Lake. Today, no one here would dream of drinking that water, as well as the creeks and rivers. There's been so much contamination. This is why we chose the issue that many Indigenous communities across Canada don't have access to safe drinking water and are on boil water advisories.
Chose this particular issue because we know as SEAL people, we have a responsibility to uphold the integrity of water itself. We also chose this issue as a means to shed light on the basic human rights, access to clean potable water. We really encourage a lot of collaboration, a lot of innovation, and the chance for students and participants to step outside their boundaries, step outside of their comfort zones, and find those areas of overlap where we can work together to address this issue.
And this AquaHacking Challenge will help us find solutions to safe drinking water for our communities.
Can I say them again? No. Stormwater, water waste, invasive aquatic species, access to drinking water on First Nations communities, and flood risk mitigation. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Anna. So now that we know the challenges, except apparently I don't off the top of my head, And I'd like to now welcome Carolina Restrepo, the AquaHacking Coordinator for the Okanagan Basin Water Board, to come up and announce the prizes. And I also just want to say Carolina has done the majority of the work putting this event together, and she's done an outstanding job, so thank you. Please come on up.
See if this is not too good. Excellent. Thank you very much. My name is Carolina Restrepo, and as James said, I'm the coordinator for the challenge here in British Columbia, and I have one of the best parts of the show today. I need to talk about prices, which is great. So the challenge has many positive things, and of course, the first benefit that our hackers and the 5 semifinalists will get is they are cleaning a vital water source, or they are doing something very good for water. But in addition to that, we have cash prizes for the 5 semifinalist teams. We go from $20,000 for the first place, $15,000 for the second place, $10,000 for the third place, and $2,500 for the fourth and fifth place. Besides that, they will have a spot at a local incubator, they will have a promotional video, and they will have a lot of media coverage. They will have a lot of mentorship during the process, and they will not be alone, and we are so happy to offer this. So I'm going to invite now Duncan Phillips from MyTax, who will give us much better news regarding what else our hackers can get.
Thank you, Carolina. I have to say it's an absolute privilege to be able to partner with Aquaforum and all the other partners and supporters of this fantastic initiative, and to bring some of the funding that MyTax has to bear on this project. For those of you who don't know about MyTax, MyTax is an independent, government-funded, not-for-profit organization that fosters growth and innovation, which we do by building partnerships between industry, not-for-profit organizations, community groups on the one hand, and post-secondary institutions on the other hand, and co-funding applied research projects that address the priorities of the partner organization. This funding is directed towards students, mostly graduate and doctoral students, but also college students and postdoctoral fellows, and includes some flexible funding that we use to support the research, but with the majority of the funding providing stipends to the students. Our delivery model is one of the strengths of what we do. Our business development team, currently approximately 80 people across the country, work hand in hand with the organizations that we're partnering with to develop the funding proposals. And most of our programs are non-competitive, which means that provided the proposal meets the program criteria, it will be funded. Our flagship program, Accelerate, which is what we'll be using to support the AquaHacking winning teams, has a funding success rate of well over 95%. Now, the Accelerate program is based on individual 4 to 6 month modules in which the student splits their time between the partner organization and their post-secondary institution. Normally, the student cannot be an employee or owner of the partner organization, but there's a special form of this program called Accelerate Entrepreneur, which is designed specifically for student-led startups, such as the AquaHacking winners, where the company is housed in an industry incubator or accelerator, where that incubator provides the supervision and mentorship that would normally be undertaken by the partner organization. So in this case, our support for the AquaHacking teams will include not just pre-allocating this funding, but for each team, we'll work one-on-one with them and provide guidance to help them optimize how the program can be applied to each team's configuration and circumstances, how we can help them maximize the matching funds they can apply for, and how best to support all members of the team, even those who may no longer be students by the time the competition concludes and the prizes are awarded. And I found out the other day that even though we weren't formally partnered with Aquaforum in the past, that one of the past winners, Can Forecast, is now partnering with MyTax on a research project themselves. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Carolina and Duncan. And as this slide shows, with the potential for MyTax funding, the first prize could be as high as $45,000, second place up to $30,000, third place up to $20,000, and it would bring the fourth and fifth place teams potentially, if they qualify again, up to $10,000. So thank you to MyTax. And now we're going to see a few videos from some past winners. First is Jason DeGlint from Blue Lion Labs.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason from Blue Lion Labs. Today, I want to share with you a little bit about my journey and experience going through AquaHacking. When my team started out with AquaHacking, we had only a very basic idea and understanding of the underlying problem. I was also just starting up my PhD at the University of Waterloo, and I decided I wanted to pursue something in the water sector. So AquaHacking was a perfect shoe-in for our team. After many iterations and hard work, we managed to move on to the semifinals. The AquaHacking team were there to coach and support us on how to prepare a pitch, and they also introduced us to different partners involved in the water sector. Being part of AquaHacking gave us exposure to these great mentors, both business experts and water experts, who wanted to see us succeed and encouraged us to move forward. And winning AquaHacking provided funds to purchase equipment and also cover travel costs. Winning AquaHacking accelerated my own path as an entrepreneur, and it was a springboard that opened doors all around the world, in Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, the US, and even China. Since we won AquaHacking, we have officially incorporated our company. We have also gone from a proof of concept prototype to an early working prototype. This past summer, we started our first pilot project with the drinking water treatment plant in Ontario in order to get important user feedback and improve our technology. So in summary, we started from ground zero, and AquaHacking accelerated our progress and made us aware of how big the problem truly is and helped us get to where we are now. So, if you're thinking about signing up for AquaHacking, I want you to consider how much you could gain from this experience. You have nothing to lose and a significant amount you could gain. Outside of the obvious financial winnings, you will be exposed to a great group of people who want to help you succeed. And you will also learn more about business and how to develop and grow out an initial solution. And finally, you'll grow personally and learn more about yourself. So if that sounds like an adventure you want to be part of, then I strongly encourage you to register and form a team. So step forward and give it your 100%. Thanks.
And the next past winner is Kat Kavanaugh from Water Rangers.
Hi, my name is Kat Kavanaugh. I'm the Executive Director of Water Rangers. We're a social enterprise nonprofit organization that seeks to connect people to their waterways through citizen science. The original idea for Water Rangers came from going water testing with my dad. And I realized there's this huge gap between average citizens and the water quality data that is about their lakes or rivers that they care about. So it just so happened that around that time I was coming up with this idea. AquaHacking was starting for the Ottawa River. And so Water Rangers' first prototype was created at AquaHacking. Since then, we're really design and technology led. We have an open data platform, and we have a water quality test kit so that anyone can go out and test waterways and get results right away. So creating that connection between people and water. Through AquaHacking, I've really met loads of amazing people. I've been inspired to do and to make this a reality. A lot of time with hackathons, we finish it and then we move on with our lives. But the water field captured my heart, and I've now devoted my life to trying to change water and our connection to water. So, you know, a hackathon is awesome. You learn lots of new skills. You really push yourself. But within the AquaHacking family, you have that opportunity to go even further, to spread your message and your impact across the country and the world. And there's lots and lots of opportunities for you to change your life, to learn, to get professional skills, but mostly to make a difference. You know, we have a lot of problems with water, and we need lots of solutions. So we need all of your ideas, all of your enthusiasm to make a real difference, especially as waterways become more and more fragile. And there you can see there's Kenny, my dog, out here in the woods. So I hope that you will take this opportunity with AquaHacking to connect to water, to learn new technology, to expand what's possible. Technology means that we can create things we could never create before, and you can be part of that. So I hope to see you as part of the competition and become part of the family. Thanks, bye.
I'd like to now welcome Carolina back up to talk about the registration process for AquaHacking.
So I'm back here again. I'm going to navigate you real quick to the registration process. We already have here in the audience some of the students that are already registered on the challenge. And of course, on Facebook, for sure, we have people that might be interested. So I have a short video that will show you really quick how you need to navigate the page and access our registration platform. So you go to our website, and you scroll down, and you see our partners and sponsors, and our timeline as well. And once you get to the registration, you will click Register Now, which is what I want our students to do. And then you will find like the HubWork platform that has general information about the challenge. You will see the menu has information about AquaHacking, the judging, the frequently asked questions, participants, and teams. And if we click in the participants right now, you will see that we already have people registered. We have even people from Ontario already registered in our challenge, from Kelowna, from other places. You can register individually or as a group. We really encourage that you register as a group because that will be easier in terms of the challenge. But if you don't have a team and just want to participate, you are more than welcome. You just need to click Join, and then you will just need to fill your information, and you will get like a welcoming email and a lot of other stuff that will come with the registration. Thank you very much. Don't forget.
Thanks, Carolina. And I'd like to now ask Dr. John Janmat from UBC Okanagan to come up and say a few words about why the challenge is important for students and academic institutions.
Well, there was supposed to be an engineer here, but at the last minute they decided to drop in an economist. So hopefully that's not too disappointing. I am an economist. I do study something on water issues, but as an economist, we don't invent stuff. But we do spend a lot of time thinking about why people do. And there are many challenges that we face in our societies in order to figure out how to live in harmony with the land that we occupy. And finding out how to live with a smaller impact is a big one of those. Technology is a key part of this. Behavior change is also a key part of this. And it was really cool to see the challenges that were put forward that were a mix of those. So some of them were definitely technology-centered. Some of them were talking about how do we get people to use less water on their lawns. So we're really mixing together the importance of human behavior and of technological progress in order to address these big problems that we face. We have other big problems too, like climate change, and if you pay any attention to Nobel Prizes, which most of you probably don't, last year's winners of the Nobel Prize in Economics were William Nordhaus and Paul Romer, and What they were talking about was the importance of incentives in getting the kind of change we need, in their case, to address issues like climate change. Well, I think what AquaHacking does is takes the same sort of idea of trying to get the incentives right so that we are motivating people who are innovative to make the kind of innovations that we need in order to address the problems we face. And so for my part, as a faculty member who's going to be observing certainly some of this, it's pretty exciting to think about what may come out of this experience over the next few months and to see what kind of solutions are arrived at to address some of the water challenges we have here in the Okanagan. And of course, I'm faculty at UBC, so UBC teams, go UBC!
And we're very grateful to UBC and especially the Okanagan campus. They've been great partners and we owe thanks to many people on the campus. We also want to make sure that this is a BC challenge. And while the water issues were defined here in the Okanagan, we're actively looking for participation throughout the province and even across the country. Carolina, Carrie Ann, and I will be providing more information sessions and working with several academic institutions throughout the province, including both campuses of UBC, Okanagan College, Simon Fraser, Thompson Rivers University, University of Northern New Brunswick, and University of Victoria. Did I say New Brunswick? Sorry. University of Northern British Columbia. One of our partners is out in Halifax, and I've been thinking about the Maritimes, so if people from University of New Brunswick want to register, you're welcome to. And if you're online now and would like an info session for your institution, please contact us and we'll arrange it. And finally, I'd like to welcome Anna and the rest of the speakers from today back to the stage to officially kick off the AquaHacking Challenge BC 2020. And we're going to have the speakers grab a glass of water and do some photo ops.
I think so. Seems like so recent.
I know. Are we about that faster? Yes, here we go.
Okay, we collectively declare the competition open.
Cheers! 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 Cheers!
This is Kelowna water, I assume.
And there are refreshments in the back, so no one need go hungry and thirsty.
So that wraps up the AquaHacking BC 2020 Challenge kickoff. I'd like to once again thank all of our speakers from today and thank the audience for coming, both in person and online. And thank you to the media for coming out to this. We look forward to seeing you all again at the semifinal and the final event. Thank you.